Welcome, everyone. Today, we're diving into an essential topic, workplace ethics. We're going to build a really clear framework for our professional and legal responsibilities. So let's just jump right in with a critical question, one that really gets to the heart of why we're all here. What actually happens when just one person makes a deeply unethical choice? Now, that number you're seeing, that is not a hypothetical. That's the actual amount the global company Siemens had to pay in fines because of a massive corruption scandal. It's just a stunning reminder that the choices of a few people can have staggering financial consequences for absolutely everyone. And, it's never just about the money. Think of it like a chain reaction, right? One ethical failure can set off this devastating domino effect. We're talking about shattered public trust, crippling fines, intense scrutiny from regulators, lawsuits from all sides, and on the inside, morale just tanks, and your best people start heading for the door. These are risks that can threaten the very survival of a business. So to really get a handle on this, here's how we're going to break it down today. First, we'll cover why ethics is so critical. Then we'll get into our specific standards. After that, we'll look at our shared compliance framework. And finally, we'll get to the most important piece of the puzzle, your individual role and responsibility in all of this. Okay, let's dive into that first section and really nail down why ethics is completely non-negotiable in today's world. At its core, workplace ethics is pretty simple. It's just about applying moral principles to how we behave at work. It's our shared promise to do the right thing, even when it's hard and, even when no one's watching. It's all about building a foundation of integrity. Okay, this slide makes a really, really important distinction. Think of it this way. Legal compliance tells us what we have to do. It's the absolute bare minimum, right? It's the floor. But ethics, that's our compass. It guides us toward what we should do. It helps us navigate all those tricky gray areas where a decision might be perfectly legal, but it just doesn't feel right. All right, so with that foundation, let's move on and see how this all builds into the specific standards and documents that guide our everyday actions. We use two main tools to define our standards. Think of the Code of Ethics as our moral compass. It's broad, it's about our values, and it guides our overall mindset. The Code of Conduct, on the other hand, well, that's the rule book. It's specific, it's action-oriented, and it lays out the clear do's and don'ts for our behavior. And that Code of Conduct is truly the cornerstone of good governance. It takes our policies and formalizes them into a clear set of guidelines. And this is so crucial because it means we're not relying on thousands of different individual interpretations of what's right and wrong, because that's a recipe for disaster. And this image here just perfectly illustrates the whole point of our code. It's not here to restrict us. It's our guiding light. It gives us clarity when things get complicated and makes sure we're all navigating by the same stars, all pointed in the same direction. So now we'll look at the actual system we've built to turn these principles into practice and proactively protect our organization. Our compliance program is really our proactive shield. It's a whole system built on these 5 pillars that all work together. See, it's not just a list of rules, it's a living cycle. We start by looking at our unique risks, and then we build our code and policies to address them. We provide safe ways for people to report concerns, and we back that up with constant training. And crucially, we close the loop with fair and consistent enforcement. Every part reinforces the others. This code just hits the nail on the head. A company's culture starts at the very top. A list of rules doesn't mean a thing if leaders don't live and breathe them. For our standards to have any real weight, leadership has to lead by example, setting the tone for the entire organization. And this brings us to what is, honestly, the most important part of this entire explainer: your personal role and responsibility in making our ethical culture a reality. Every single one of us has these fundamental duties. They're the bedrock of a trustworthy and professional workplace. This includes a duty of care, which is our obligation to look out for the safety and well-being of others. It means acting with integrity, following our policies, steering clear of conflicts of interest, and of course, treating every single person with dignity and respect. So here it is. This is the moment of truth. This is where our collective commitment really comes down to individual action. What do you do? The single most important thing you can do is speak up. It's that simple. Whether you go to your direct supervisor, another manager, or use our confidential reporting hotline, raising a concern isn't about causing trouble. It's about being responsible. It lets us fix problems before they get worse. And let's be crystal clear on this point. You are protected when you report misconduct in good faith. Federal whistleblower laws strictly prohibit any form of retaliation, and our organization has an absolute zero-tolerance policy for it. Your voice is not just welcome here, it is protected. And to help you out, here are some of the most common red flags to watch for. This covers everything from fraud and bribery to harassment, conflicts of interest, and misusing company resources. Just being aware of what these things look like helps all of us spot and report issues before they spiral out of control. So in the end, our commitment to ethics isn't just about avoiding legal trouble. As this quote says so well, it's about doing the smart thing. A culture of integrity is our ultimate competitive advantage. It makes us stronger, more successful, and more sustainable for everyone involved. Thank you for your commitment to upholding these standards.